Hey guys, it's Dean here. Just bringing you a quick live event here. It'll actually be live for about an hour, just to discuss the current tropical situation, and also we'll be doing also some weather forecasting too as well. So this live event is just gone live just before. It's 5 to 2 now UTC, and it's interesting tropical scene at the moment where activity was pretty much dead until it was pretty much dead till last week, and so. I'll now turn on the screen share. Just coming on now, and here we go. So pulled up the wind shear map for where see on the left there, Tatiana there, and also you can see Winston there on the right. Tatiana is now entering shear of around about 30 to 40 knots. And hang on for a sec. Okay, guys, now we're back. So just pull up. See the shear tendency for Australia there, and see there Tatiana there, and about moderate wind shear at the moment, 40 maybe 50 knots. Let's go ahead further south and pretty much experience 80, 60, 70, maybe 80, maybe even 100 knots of wind shear there. And see Winston there. It's expected to curve pretty much just staying in around about 10 to 20 knots of shear before the wind shear does start to pick up again. And now we'll go over to the Indian Ocean because I just believe It's not updated yet, but Tropical Storm 13S is now formed, which is approximately in this sort of location here, I believe, which is currently experiencing around about 30 to 40 knots of wind shear. Looking relatively good though, over most of the Indian Ocean. There are small pockets of possible activity, quite conductive for development. They would have to see how that plays out. North Atlantic at this time of year, as you'd expect, really no fly zone. Wind shear is really high over that area at the moment. In the Eastern Pacific, again, a no fly zone. Small pockets there down in the bottom left. There's a weak Coriolis effect there, which will inhibit development. You see the wind shear has been increasing pretty much over the Central Pacific. Small pocket there, if you see my cursor, is but not really that conductive for development in the Pacific at the moment. Western Pacific, the only area of development possible with low shear is the South China Sea, which and also the other side of the Philippines, only probably about 500 to 1,000 miles off the coast of the Philippines, and the rest of the Pacific up like Japan area, that's all pretty much high vertical wind shear. No storms can develop at this time. The Bay of Bengal looking fairly friendly at the moment, only about around about 20, 30 knots average shear over that area at the moment. The Eastern Atlantic, that's actually over the UK, if you see up there. UK has got high vertical wind shear at the moment. Same with North Africa as well, North South Africa, if you know what I mean. And a little bit off the coast of West Africa as well. Azor's still got high wind shear there. Small pocket of low shear just off the coast of France at the moment, though no tropical cyclones can develop that far north. Now go over to Western Australia. Pretty much looking quite friendly in the northern part of continental Oceania at the moment. Looking now relatively good. So yeah, elsewhere into the South Indian Ocean, not looking that good for development. And also over southern Australia, 100-knot wind shear is being experienced there. And as we saw earlier, this is the Eastern Australia map, and Tatiana is experiencing moderate shear. Winston experiencing some shear, but fairly low. It should start to curve back northwards out of that high shear zone. And then in the southeastern Pacific, pretty much also a no-fly zone here. Not much areas conductive for development other than see up the Pacific Islands, experiencing about 20 to 30 knots of shear, but still sustainable for development. Then looking at the wide picture for the combo East EPAC and Atlantic, as you can see, all no-fly zone. There's loads of wind shear around. So yeah.
This is your shit as well, and I helped you with my shit.
I hate my sisters. Okay. Anyways, so now you can see the Earth nautical map here. I'm just going to zoom out, get a view of the Pacific Ocean. And as you guys can see here, looking okay. See a little bit more of an anticyclone here. Yeah, it's quite a bit of an anticyclone up there. There you can down there you can see Cyclone Winston down there. You can also see Tatiana there, and also it looks as though just off the coast of Antarctica at the moment, fairly strong extratropical cyclone there. Now just go to the South Indian, and there you can see it is Tropical Storm 11S. No, not 11S, sorry, 13S. Craig was saying earlier that it was 11S. But as you guys heard, it's saying before, is that in the southern hemisphere they actually number the storms like as a southern hemisphere as a whole. So say with Daya that was 10S, but then we had Winston and Tatiana, which were 11 and 12P. But then the numbers still keep going on. So this tropical storm that's just formed is now tropical storm at 13S. So they designate that with the numbers as a whole, really, for the whole hemisphere. Whereas the northern hemisphere has it's like different numbers, designations, as most of the tropical cyclone tracking agencies most of them are in the northern hemisphere. So we'll look at the South Atlantic. There's supposedly a very big storm over Argentina at the moment. It doesn't look like there is though at the moment. Oh yeah, here we go. There's some sort of circulation there, only just a little bit though. It's also got some weak wind speeds too. To that, I'll just bring up the UK picture now. You can see a strong extratropical cyclone here. Winds are being felt here, but only around about 33 kilometers per hour, which is probably about say only about 10-15 miles per hour, maybe 20 miles per hour at the moment. You see 75 kilometers an hour just battering the coast of France at the moment. Just bumped south a little bit. So yeah, you see most of France is being battered by this. So now we'll go off of those two things there. Here is the GFS model for the South Pacific part. You can see Cyclone Winston there. See if there's a more updated version. No, there isn't. So yeah. King streaming. So you see here, GFS model has Winston possibly topping out as a very intense storm. Possibly, the GFS is normally quite a modest model, but pretty much has all-out death for this system. So saying that it's going to pass just south of Fiji, topping out possibly 898 millibars, 899, which is indicating a very strong Category 5 system on the Saffir-Simpson scale. And we'll look at the 00 Zulu forecast map. They still did have about just under a sub 900 millibar storm, though had it sort of meandering over the Pacific Islands, really. I think it's not Vanuatu. Can't remember what those islands are called. I think it might be the Solomon Islands. or something like that. Now we'll go to the other forecast models. So go for here we go. So go for the CMC model. CMC doesn't really seem to be forecasting anything untoward, really. Oh yeah. I'm just picking up the here we go. So we'll look at the ECMWF model run that we have here. So not really predicting much for Winston. Pretty much doing cyclonic loop and making landfall on New Zealand. Still, that storm, it does have Winston also weakening, but does have another system forming, as you can see there. They would have to see how that plays out. Now go over to the CMC model. So let's have a look. The CMC does sort of have the it taking Winston sort of the same way as the GFS has, but surprisingly, normally the CMC has worst case scenario, but the CMC only has around about a 975 millibar storm. So that one could be an interesting one to look out for. This is the latest available image. Has around about a 955 millibar storm. Looks as though this is the latest updated one that I've got, which was 12 Zulu yesterday. So that would be about now that is forecast. But yeah, it does have a storm coming back northwards. And actually deepening quite a fair bit down to 955 millibars. So re-intensification on the nav gem is forecasted. Now go back down to Australasia.
Hi, Michael.
So it doesn't have that. Yes.
There, because we're going to sort out the house now.
Okay. So, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Yes. Cool.
So, oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. So you still see my screen share. These are currently active storms. So here goes there. You can see the new tropical storm, Tropical Storm Uriah, I believe that is. Sounds a bit of a wrong name. Sounds a little bit wrong.
two that's broken now because there was one in there that I put.
Mum's broken a plate.
There's one in there, Mum.
So you'll see Tropical Storm Tatiana there, weakening now, I believe. Slightly re-intensified earlier. Let's see 12 Zulu update. Winston's weakened down to a category 2. You see Uriah's form there. That's for a little bit later. The Ram has Cyclone Uriah there. Tropical Storm Uriah. So yeah. Doesn't have a forecast for that system yet. You can see there CIMSS. So yeah. Okay. Anyways, so I'll probably end the stream now. I'll come back online later. Yeah, that's all for me now. Thanks guys for watching. It's 4:15 signing off.